Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Let's get to it today. Here we go, 9:02 on this 24th day of January. It's a Wednesday morning right here in the heart of the 618 on RiverBender.com, Roku TV, and anywhere, everywhere you get your podcast. CJ Nasello. It's our daily show, and we got a great one for you. We're busy. In a couple of minutes, we're going to be talking to Riverbend CEO about 9:20, but who's counting? You know, we had the whole gang in yesterday, and I love the group. You guys know that I've been a part of it. I was in their first inaugural class, and to see it keep growing and evolving and really becoming a staple and providing so many opportunities long-term for an individual, a student in the area to really start their roots here instead of moving away and maybe never coming back. They're really great about that. It's a wonderful organization, and we have a way to support them on their trivia night, February the 17th, and we'll get all the details about that in about 17 minutes' time. And then on top of that, we are talking to Congresswoman Budzinski. At about 10:10, we're going to have her in studio. We talked yesterday as she was making her rounds, and we had a nice conversation about her first year in office and her plans for the future if reelected in the general election. And then we're going to be talking to Syndey Sinks in the show. We're going to do blog talk, and the Zion Lutheran folks over there coming in to talk about their annual sausage supper. So we're busy. So let's get to it. At 9:03, here's what's happening around the River Bend. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update. Join myself and 70,000 people truly in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the River Bend. I wish I would have seen this news this morning. Illinois American Water works to separate Alton's combined sewer system and install new sanitary sewers. It continues. January 23rd, Elm Street is closing to traffic near the intersection of Hardy Street on the morning of Wednesday, the 24th. Please avoid this area and utilize Mather to Southeast Delmar Avenue to north or for any east-west travel in this area. The work will progress easterly down towards Elm Street to the intersection of Kohler Street. Safety. These closures are necessary for investments to the water systems to be completed in a safe manner. And for more information, you can call 800-422-2782. Out of East St. Louis, Dan Brannan broke this. A district judge sentenced a semi-trailer driver to 12 years in federal prison after he admitted to hauling nearly 40 kilograms of heroin, fentanyl, meth, and cocaine through southern Illinois. LaDaniel Russell, 50 of Fort Worth, pleaded guilty to one count of possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance, heroin, fentanyl, meth, and cocaine. A quote from U.S. Attorney Rochelle Odd-Crow: heroin, fentanyl, meth, and cocaine all have a dangerous history of infecting individuals and causing harms in communities due to the war on drugs. I commend the Illinois State Police for interrupting this drug trafficking operation and having the training to detect semi-trailer drivers with illegitimate agendas. Troopers with the Illinois State Police conducted this traffic stop by Russell along Interstate 70 in Madison County on the 15th of September of 2022. And now, following the search of Russell's trailer, troopers located 2 large duffel bags concealing 1 kilogram of heroin, 4.5 kilograms of fentanyl, and almost 32 kilograms of meth, along with nearly 2 kilograms of cocaine. In an interview with law enforcement, Russell admitted he planned to deliver the drugs to Michigan after he stopped in Indiana to deliver his truck's legitimate cargo. In addition to the 12-year prison sentence, Russell will serve 5 years of supervised release. With a final quote, "We know our nation's freeways are arteries that bring Mexican cartels illegal drugs into our communities, said Assistant Special Agent in Charge Joseph Dixon in this release. Also, Syndey Sinks reporting out of Wood River that the Alton Community Service League will celebrate Valentine's Day with a wine tasting fundraiser on the 10th of February. The proceeds will go to organizations in the community that are supported by the ACSL. From 3 to 5 p.m., attendees can enjoy alcoholic and non-alcoholic wines and Valentine's Day gift basket raffles, a 50-50 drawing, and more over there at the Wood River Moose at 730 Wesley Drive in Wood River. Olive Oil Marketplace will also be on site offering samples, and attendees can try a variety of wines throughout the evening provided by Republic National Distribution Company of Illinois. Tickets cost $20, and all of the money will go towards the ACSL grant program, which does benefit local nonprofits and organizations in the area. As an organization, ACSL completes many beautification projects throughout the community. Members are expected to volunteer with other local organizations on their own time. President Kathy Drosty added that all of the event's proceeds will go towards local charities who apply for the ACSL grant program and are awarded the money through events like this wine tasting. Tickets will not be available at the door. You have to purchase tickets ahead of time, and you can do so by calling Drosty at 618-791-9191 or calling Miller at 618-444-7011. That's 618-971-9191 or 618-444-7011. The Alton Community Service League is also always looking for new members, and they encourage you to call Drosty if you want to be a part of this wonderful organization. News broke yesterday about this proposal. Dalton Brown brought us the latest. A proposed partnership to host a Formula One powerboat championship race in Alton called the 2024 Alton Midwest Nationals is on the agenda for Alton city officials to consider this week. Here's the latest. If approved, the 2024 Alton Midwest Nationals would take place from Friday, June 21st through Sunday, June 23rd. The race course would consist of 7-turn loop near the Alton riverfront area of the amphitheater, where there would also be a fan viewing and pit area seating section. According to introduction documents submitted to city officials by F1 Powerboat Championships, the Formula One Powerboat Championship is a 6 to 8 race series contested across North America from May through October. At their next meeting, the Alton Committee of the Whole is set to consider this agreement with Southern Professional Outboard Racing Tour. According to the resolution, the City of Alton and Southern Professional Outboard Racing Tour desire to enter an agreement to host a Southern Professional Outdoor Racing Tour Series circuit. Following the cancellation of their typical Monday meeting due to inclement weather, the Committee of the Whole is set to discuss and or vote on this item at 6:30 p.m. this Wednesday tonight, and you can watch it instantly on RiverBender.com on the website or on the Facebook page. Out of Godfrey, Lewis and Clark Community College will honor Martin Luther King Jr. during its annual MLK commencement event at 12:30 p.m. this Thursday, the 25th, in the Allmeyer Atrium on the college's Godfrey campus. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s leadership towards racial justice laid down the framework for what we are still working towards today, says Lewis and Clark Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusive Excellence, Maya Lawrence. He showed us how to speak up during a time when people did not hear his words. His tenacity and contributions to American history is why we continually acknowledge all that he did throughout his life, and we invite everyone in the LC community to honor his legacy with us. Now, this free public event will honor King's civil rights work by showcasing select signature speeches performed by Lewis and Clark students, live music by the Blancas, led by Brenda Lancaster of the Lewis and Clark Music Department, free refreshments, and a keynote address by Alton Boys and Girls Club Director Al Womack. Womack has been leading the Boys and Girls Club as its director for 26 years. He also currently serves the larger community through a number of roles, including the school board at Alton Community School District 11, the Alton Housing Authority Commissioner, the Illinois Alliance of Boys and Girls Club Board of Directors and Government Relations Committee member, Birth to 3 Advisory Board member, OSF, St. Anthony's Hospital Community Assessment Team member, and the Alton Community School District Wall of Fame Committee member. Formerly, Womack also served as facilitator of the Uncomfortable Conversations, was on the City of Alton Human Relations Commission, served the Alton Memorial Hospital Community Benefits Committee, was a member of the Alton Education Foundation Board, the Madison Bond County Workforce Investment Board, and the Catholic Children's Home Advisory Board. He also was a graduate of Alton High, and he also served as an assistant football coach for 17 years. For more information about this event, you can contact Jared Hennings or Maya Lawrence, jhenning@lc.edu or mylawrence@lc.edu. 9/11, that's the time on this Wednesday morning. It's 40 degrees. A dense fog advisory is issued, and it'll run until 12 noon today. Visibility locally, 1/4 of a mile or less in dense fog. Today, dense fog this morning with periods of rain and drizzle early, and then overcast for the rest of the morning. Tonight, occasional rain and drizzle. Temperatures will reach 48 degrees today. They will drop down to 37 overnight. On Thursday, we're looking at a high of 45, a 75% chance of precipitation, and a low of 34 on Friday. 44 for the high, 34 for the low. No rain in the forecast. Then on Saturday, a 92% chance that we are going to get rained on. 42 for the high, 32 for the low. Then on Sunday, my birthday, 40 degrees is your high temperature, 29 for the low. But right now, as it sits, at 9:12 on this 24th day of January, it's 40 degrees. It feels like 41. And for time and temperature throughout the day, you give this phone number a ring, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. Hey, before we take a quick break, wanted to fill you in on a brand new segment coming to our daily show in February. And this is really one that I'm looking forward to. You know, time and time again, we've talked with Centerstone, who is one of the best in giving us experts to talk about mental health issues and just, wellness issues in general. Well, we decided to team up. They have a brand new campaign launching, and I'm really excited to be a part of it, where we're going to be talking to experts from Centerstone and the recovery program twice a month. We're going to be providing you all the material, because recovery can happen at any time, and you can recover with us at Centerstone in this campaign. And we highly encourage you, if you're, in that situation of maybe it's time to start looking for some help and you're getting some warning signs, utilize the podcast for that. Utilize our conversations and utilize the resources at Centerstone. RecoverWithUs.org. That is their website, RecoverWithUs.org. That's the website you need to go to, and you'll hear me talking about it for quite a bit of time in the next couple of months. I'm very excited for this partnership, and the show keeps growing and providing some really great information. All that happens in a couple of days, but right now we got a couple of minutes before our first conversation with Riverbend CEO at 9:14. I'll take a quick break and get out of the way, and our conversations will continue after this.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Hey, before we talk to Riverbend CEO, thank you for hanging out with me. All in favor of the Formula Powerboat race. And here's another one. I'm all in favor of the Powerboat race. It would bring lots of revenue into the city for that weekend. It would be great. Keep your comments going or text me 618-759-7469 and we'll keep everything rolling this Wednesday morning. But, I had a great conversation with Riverbend CEO, and I'm really excited to see, where they go with this. They keep growing the organization. I'm proud of them, and we're going to talk to them right now. They joined us in studio a little bit ago, and here's our conversation. Welcome back to our daily show with Riverbend CEO. As you guys know, each and every year we try to talk to the group at least once. I was in the first class in 2017. Katie Sabolo. I'm still used to the original Katie. Katie McBee was her name, and now married, and Katie's doing some great work with the group. And coming up in a couple of weeks, trivia night, February 17th. I got it right?
Yes, sir.
Wow! Normally I botch something like the first 2 minutes of an interview, and that's what breaks the ice. So now I'm kind of in a little bit of trouble here. How are we gearing up for this? We're only a couple of weeks away in the tail end of January.
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good. I think Darrell got us our first gold sponsor, so
Really?
he's getting us to a very strong start.
So take me through how you guys are able to get all this accomplished. And Darrell, take me through that, because getting a sponsor ain't easy. I should give you some feedback from my show. It's like the hardest part of my job is finding commercial sponsors.
Yeah, so as far as going to get the gold sponsor, I kind of use my connections and knowing people who I know that own businesses. Mm-hmm. So I started off with my mom, who owns a home healthcare, Acquire healthcare. So I basically just did my pitch to her, and she loved the program. So she said she'd invest in us.
That's a tough sell. Yeah. Because your mom's going to be the more honest that, with you than some of the, businesses you might give a cold call to, too. So you had to give a pretty damn good pitch, huh?
Yeah.
With that being said, take me through this trivia night. How did you guys decide on this as a group, that this was going to be the class fundraiser, and this is going to help fund your individual businesses, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How did you guys come up with that decision?
It took probably, 2 or 3 weeks for us to make the final decision.
Oh, wow.
There was a lot of brainstorming we put into it.
What were some of the ideas that you guys had outside of the trivia night?
I know we had gift baskets, a movie night. What were some of the other ideas?
Candle making.
Candle making.
We decided on a service, though, because it'd be more feasible.
Well, and you're creating memories, too, and for the longevity of the brand, people are going to remember, that event and want to come back to it, or maybe you create something for the next upcoming CEO classes, too. And before we get in even more into the trivia night, I want to ask you just around school, as you guys are doing this is a pretty tough class, because you're having to critically think, meet with people, and then by 8:30, you're flipping the hair around or putting the hat down, and you're going into school being a normal student for a couple of hours. How are you able to combat that and still keep your goal on the business? Because at the end of the day, that's the end-all, be-all goal of CEO, correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
How are you able to kind of navigate that?
I'd say the biggest thing that Katie helped me with is time management.
Yeah.
Because I was really bad at it before this class, but I had to set time aside for certain things.
Well, and with that being said, Sam, you're starting a yoga business, correct? That's your idea?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So take me through that. How did you get, because I see this all the time, okay? I'm not flexible at all. I have I used to be a fitness freak. Now I'm not. A gust of wind blows me down to Missouri, so I kind of got to be cool. But with this, how are you able to kind of see what everyone else is doing in town and make your own spin on this?
Well, I've never seen a yoga business done before. Mm-hmm. So I just like the idea of coming up with something new.
Mm-hmm.
And me being an athlete, all of my teammates, we're always tight. So I figured, why not try to give back and help in that aspect?
Absolutely. And speaking about other businesses, too, do we all have our business picked out?
Yep.
So, wild thing. Our first group didn't really know until the last couple of months. I think it was by February, the stragglers are starting to figure out, and by March, I think someone had a 2-week business that was just fantastic. I had my decision made by December, and I was getting yelled at about why I was, not making it to class and doing my jobs in January. What are your businesses that I haven't talked to yet? Nathan, do you have yours picked out?
Yeah, I'm reselling weight equipment.
Really? Now take me through that process, because I've been talking to a few business owners, like my uncle owns UFit, and I've had abs workout plans on before. That's a pretty lucrative business too, because there's so many people that don't need stuff in a couple of weeks because they got new stuff coming in. What's that turnaround time look like, and just that process?
Well, so first you go to, I use Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, or gyms closing. They always have really good deals. And a lot of times it's more about them getting rid of it rather than trying to make a profit off of it.
Yeah.
So you really get a good price on a lot of things, and you can turn that around and sell it to other gyms that either a piece of their equipment broke or they really need something.
Really cool. What made you decide to get into that? Was there something in your own gym that you go to?
Yeah, I have a home gym.
Oh, cool.
And I've been building it for a while, and I've went through the process of trying to sell parts of it and gain others, and I feel like there's some money to be made there.
That's awesome. And then we were just talking, Drake, Parker, you were at the North Alton Godfrey Business Council, and you got the luxury of being talked to by Zeke J. Bush, who, if you make it through a Zeke J. Bush conversation unscathed, you're doing pretty good to start your morning. I was there and made a very great joke, by the way. Parker, can you attest to my joke I made?
Yeah, it was so funny.
Thank you very much. I didn't have to pay him. Parker, take me through your business again. You pitched it to the council too, correct?
Yeah, so I'm buying puzzles in bulk and printing out monuments of Alton around it. And I'm planning on taking pictures, maybe with Drake's help from his photography business.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So, and have you had some pretty good luck? Are you going to do some unique spots, or are we going to go for like the traditional landmarks?
Probably just the traditional, like Pie-Saw Bird, Lincoln Douglas, maybe Lucy Haskell, Robert Wadlow. Stuff that people in the area would love to like frame, build, and put up in their home.
And Drake, did I ask you about your business yet?
Not too much, but
fill me in.
Yeah, so I want to go into a career in photography. Freelance, I want to do my own stuff.
Have you submitted your photo of the day yet to RiverBender.com?
No.
We got to get that done too. We'll get you out there in front of some thousands.
I can try and start doing that, yeah. But what's unique about my business though is I'm not just going to be limiting myself to one kind of photography. So like most photographers you see, they have like specific types of photography they do. So like animal photos, nature photos, scenery, family photos, all that stuff. I'm going to try and do all of it.
Oh, nice. So kind of becoming that all-in-one spot where no matter what type of photo you need, you're just going to call Drake.
Yeah, because I've not seen many people do that before.
You're right. It becomes a big specialty thing. And, I don't know how you feel about this, but I thought, CJ, you can't specialize in anything, so just do it all. But then, like you were saying, Drake, I was seeing somebody the other day that, made these beautiful shots of, animals in nature. And I thought, well, what about some athletes, too, you could throw in there? Because if you're already getting some good action shots, throw some athletes in, you have a whole new avenue to go down, and that's your kind of thought on it, too, huh?
Yeah.
Really, has the program helped get that going?
So far, it's pretty much just been this year. Like, out of nowhere, I decided, hey, that sounds pretty fun. I like it. Let's do it. So I'm not super big yet, but I do post occasionally online, like photos and stuff I take, and I'll show friends and family.
Really cool. And a gold sponsor gatherer, I would like to add in the studio. Did more than I could do whenever I was in Riverbend CEO for sponsorships. What are you working on? What's your class business, man?
I'm working on a vending machine.
That's right. We were talking about that.
Yes.
Now, what type of vending machine? Because these are starting to get crazy.
Yeah, I plan on doing a snack and soda machine.
Okay.
So hopefully I can get like one that has both compartments to where like there's a cooling section, and then I could just put snacks in the other section.
Have you seen those ones that they do like pizza? You can get soup. Have you seen those?
No, I know they get crazy with it though. Like they have like some
nuts.
They have like eyebrows vending machine now. Like they sell lashes, not eyebrows, eyelashes. They sell like eyelashes. They sell a whole bunch of stuff in vending machines.
That's wild. Now, is this just kind of the step into a greater business platform for you? Kind of getting a nest egg going with the vending machine?
Not really. It's just more so to do like to create passive income, so that I don't have to do as much, and I could still be in school with it. So
I wish honestly that is an idea I wish I would have had whenever, because mine was ice. There was a new company that came in that said you have to go down, and I thought, let's sell ice to the marina. Perfect sense. Well, here's step one. You got to call the marina to make sure they don't sell ice, which they already do. Fail big time, you know. Working with the group, what do you guys get out of it each and every morning? Because you guys could have chose to kind of go, it's junior year, we already got a tough year ahead of us, let's just kind of hang out a little bit and let's just get into school around 8:30 or 9, but you're getting up 6 o'clock, getting ready to go. Take me through what makes that so enjoyable for all of you.
We get to talk to people like you and kind of...
good answer! Good answer!
No, seriously, I don't think we would have gotten an opportunity if we would have taken another class like at the school.
Well, and that's what my thought was too on it, Sam, was the fact that, when I was there, I couldn't sit still to save my life. I just couldn't. And I figured, let's do something productive. And I was sitting there bugging my principal, the old principal, Dr. Tapin at the time, and he goes, well, you like to talk to go into Riverbend CEO, but what happened is I went in there, started talking to the mayor of Alton at the time was Brent Walker whenever he was stopping by, and we started talking, and I was able to get connected with so many people in town because of that one first conversation that started from Riverbend CEO. And have you guys had a lot of those opportunities to talk with, mayors and city figures and really kind of getting your roots planted here?
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah. And on top of that, February 17th, they're still looking for sponsors, correct, for this?
Yes.
And now, how many sponsorship levels do you have?
3.
Oh, nice. Now, what are we talking here?
We have gold, silver, and bronze.
Nice. And now, what do each of the sponsorships give the business or whoever decides to support you guys? What do they get out of that?
Bronze is a table sponsor, so we plan on having at least 20 tables. 8 people per table, $100 a table.
Oh, nice.
It's prepaid, so they're in charge of getting the table filled after they pay.
Yeah.
But so the bronze is a table sponsor in which we will take your logo or name or whatever and basically display that on a table and like whatever info you want. And that was $150.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
$150. And then there was silver, which is the round sponsor. I believe that one was $250, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So their logo or business or whatever.
Yeah.
Put on the slide for each round. On the beginning of each round. And then there's gold, which will have verbal recognition at the event multiple times, recognition on our social media, like Facebook and all that, and
flyer at the event.
Yes, there's flyers with their, they get their logo on the flyer.
At the entrance.
So they pretty much get it all.
They get everything.
Yeah.
You get it all at the gold level. We don't need to give you logos, flyers. Just support them, and you'll be everywhere at the event. Anywhere you look, you're going to see your logo somewhere. And just knowing, I mean, you guys can explain it better than I can. I've been in the group, and I know just the direct impact that I've had and the community's had because I started a business. Actually, I did this backwards. I started the business before we got out of the class business. It was during the first ice storm in 2017, and they wanted to see an 18-year-old risk their lives for their groceries, so I did, and then we kind of partnered with different companies. But with this, how does it really impact you? Because you guys could have a little bit of a nest egg to really start getting those much-needed materials with the funds from this trivia night, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And what are you guys, do you have a goal in mind?
After the trivia night, if it's all successful, each student should be walking away with around $550.
That's huge.
If we can also, like once we pitch our plan to the bankers, if we do good.
Oh,
Because like it's really up to the bankers.
I forgot about Banker Day. That is a tough day. Now, do you guys have your mentors and all of that picked out? Do you guys do mentors? Well, and that's what I was wondering because I started, 7 years ago is when this program started, and I'm like really starting to get some city miles on me and starting to look a little bit older. But I mean, just to see how it's changed for the better. I mean, really just some unique ideas, some great ideas and projects. And when does your trade show start? That's April, correct?
Yeah, April.
Yeah.
Now, and after you do the class business in February, what does those next 2 months look like as you're in March, as you're gearing up for the trade show in April? What do those look like? Do you know?
We're creating our business plans.
Oh, that's the straight focus?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's what we're doing at the moment. So
Okay.
probably after the trivia night, we'll just be gathering all our materials and then like practicing how we'll pitch to the bankers on Banker Day.
Mm-hmm. Really cool. And how many tickets are left? We can still get tickets for trivia night, correct?
Oh, yeah, there's
So tickets are?
$100.
Oh,
It's for a table of 8.
Oh, well, that's nothing.
Yeah.
$100 for a table of 8. That's less than $20 per person.
$12.50.
Look at that. Dre came with the math today. And see, that's what I think's great about the group, because just in the studio, you know, all of us have strengths and weaknesses, you know, and we can all help and add to, you know, the success of something. And that's why talking to everybody, this is great, kind of just backing and forth and you know, really getting the details of this. My biggest problem is I forgot to ask you where the damn thing's going to be at.
That's
going to be at the Best Western.
That's beautiful.
Sorry.
And now, how many facilities have you all toured in the school year? A lot?
Too many.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how many. It's been a lot.
It's been quite a few, yeah.
No, I always ask the same question to the group because I was in this. The first tour is a little intimidating regardless of where you go because it's new. But it seems like once you get from tour 1 to tour like 400 throughout the year, it's kind of just like how you all just react to like another day at the office. Here we go. You know? Yeah. Was there one tour out of the year that you guys look to that is your favorite or maybe learned a lot from?
My personal favorite is when we went with Edwardsville. I had a good time when we went to, I think it was the
Oil refinery.
Oh yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
I personally like West Star Aviation.
That is really a great facility. Anyone else?
I'd say either West Star or when we toured the bridal company.
Oh yeah.
Last week we met John, and he like talked to us about how he owns the shop and does real estate, creating passive income.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Mine would probably be between the City Hall or West Star.
Yeah.
Just because like there's not. Whenever like before we went into City Hall and we talked to everyone. There's a lot more to it, I guess, than people really think about.
Trust me, you can see our Facebook comments. I have my same feeling for so many of our population. But what do you find fascinating? Because when I went in there, the first time before I really started to get in, involved in this, in just business and the community life of things, I didn't realize how big City Hall was, because from the outside it really doesn't look that big. Then you get stuck in the maze of City Hall, And sorry, Nathan, did I get to ask you this question yet?
I'd probably go Pride Fitness just because it kind of goes hand in hand with mine on kind of how they almost make their own equipment there and stuff.
Really cool. Well, while I have you, before I say goodbye for now, what's your pitch? Because I want to get all of you back on before the trade show. That's something I failed at last year, so I'm going to call Katie and never did. Y'all got some great ideas and some great businesses. We got to get you back on, but we've already been talking for 17 minutes. So what's the biggest call? I know it flies. It's the one skill that I have. I don't know how I learned it, but I can make time just speed on by here. What's the big call to action for trivia night? If we could give the most perfected elevator pitch, what would it be?
As far as like gathering investors or just
gathering investors, ticket sales, and come one, come all, come support Riverbend CEO.
For investors, I'd say our biggest thing would probably be we plan on having at least 160 people there, so long as we meet our goal, which we already are close to it. I believe we've pretty much guaranteed 12 tables.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, definitely tell them how many people we plan on having at the event. Yeah. And then we also tell them like how much it would benefit them. Instead of telling them how much it'll benefit us, but also adding that in still.
Absolutely. And then for just people wanting to get tickets, what's your call to action to get a table? Fun night?
Yeah.
There you go. We'll take a quick pause here as our daily show rolls around the corner. After a quick break, we'll come back with part 2 of Riverbend CEO as we're getting our morning going. I always like an interview to start my day because I always wake up like I'm 98 years old and don't know where I am or what I did with my life. And then by 9:30, I'm kind of back to normal. But we're getting the cobwebs out early. Riverbend CEO hits you next right after this in the heart of the 618. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
We're taping right now. It doesn't matter. Riverbend CEO on February the 17th, trivia night. I forgot to ask the last group. We're continuing our conversation with Riverbend CEO. I forgot to ask the last group, what type of trivia are we talking here?
It's all different types.
Okay, I was like, I hope this isn't a music trivia, thing, and I just botched this for everybody.
Yeah.
So, as we talked to the last group, you guys have been really working hard the last few weeks and focusing primarily on this event. And has the hard work started to pay off? Are you seeing some results from it?
Yeah, definitely.
Really cool. And we have Lucas, Mason, Laura, Jada, and Josiah in studio. And this is kind of unique because no one did this on purpose, but we have CM, Marquette, and Alton like in a neighborhood of sorts, you know? What's it like working with everybody from different schools?
It's nice just to be able to see everybody kind of grew up differently, but you also, are in different areas, so you're surrounded by different businesses, and it kind of brings everybody, makes it easier having a wide range.
Well, and as you're gearing up for this, Dan, I'm in the middle of an interview. I'll take care of it in a second. We're preparing for our interview with Congresswoman Budzinski, so that's always going to be fun. Dan Brannan's our news director. With that being said, music trivia night, I Do Get Paid, is coming up on February the 17th. How long of an event is this?
Just like, I think it's 8 rounds of trivia.
Oh, nice. And it's going to be just a variety of trivia topics.
Yep. Yes.
So is it going to be, kind of just different, like a generic for everybody to kind of just be involved in it, like sports, movies, and things like that?
We're still working on making the slides and stuff, but...
That's a tough part.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, and see, I have no technical ability when it comes to slideshows, PowerPoints, anything that has to do with the computer, even though we're supposed to of being younger. Yeah. What's some of the kind of the checks and balances of going through and then getting those slides done, but also getting the other technical components of the show done? Because that is not an easy feat at all.
No, we're still trying to work on it. We're working through. Right now, we haven't really started on making the slides. We're just trying to get like our investors and all of that done first. But
I heard you got a gold sponsor. The last group told me that Darrell got us a gold sponsor, so we're already creeping towards tomorrow here. Yeah. And what are you doing to kind of obtain those sponsors? Are you utilizing past maybe facility tours and maybe past conversations and speakers to fill them in on the information? How does that look like for you? And then has it been pretty receptive from the businesses?
Yeah, we're all just going out, reaching out to different people, trying to use any connections that we have to our advantage.
So why don't we do this? Before we go into the event even more, let's talk about your guys' businesses that you're working on. Who wants to start off? What's first business number one we're going to spotlight today? Josiah,
I'm going first. Okay, I'm going to do a power washing business.
Nice. Yeah. Now, are you going to do a generic power wash, or are we doing specialties like driveways and garages?
Driveways is the focus right now, and just go see how that goes before I start doing siding stuff.
Have you guys ever seen those like Facebook or YouTube shorts? I mean, that guy is talented. That's like Picasso, you know?
They're very satisfying to look at when I say yes.
I love it. Who's next? And do you have a name?
No, not yet.
It's coming. Stay tuned.
I mean, I might as well do the other power washing business.
So we maybe shouldn't have done it at the same time.
Well, you know what? You never know when someone's going to have one too many clients and you got to pass one on to your CEO buddy or vice versa. And, what I think's cool is, and that's actually a great point, so power washing too?
Yeah.
And same kind of idea?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm just do whatever the person needs.
Well, I think it's cool though, because in the North Alton Godfrey Business Council, which we're a part of at Riverbender, is filled of the same businesses all the time. We always make the joke, here's the 9th insurance agent, or what. But what I think's cool is with the business council, when some of you have had the opportunity to kind of be a part of it, is to really the fact that the same businesses actually can grow together and do a lot better stuff sometimes too. So that's kind of cool. And you guys are in the same class.
Yeah.
Who is next with their business?
I'm going to be doing a vehicle restoration business.
Oh, okay. Now I got to ask you about this. How'd you get into this idea?
Just really my dad. So him growing up, he used to work on cars all the time. And then when I got my first truck, my dad and I completely restored it. So then I just kind of fell in love with working on stuff. So I like older vehicles, and it's cool to bring them back to life and drive them again.
Now, on your first what are you going to start off with? Are you going to do a specialty at first and kind of build up to the full resto, or how are we going to do this?
I'll probably just find a vehicle for myself.
Yeah.
And do that instead of like taking on somebody else's project first. Do my own thing and see how it works, and then go from there, and maybe eventually start getting clients. But start off just buying and selling working on my own vehicles.
Really cool. And Laura, we got a business yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna be creating like charcuterie boards for people.
Oh,
for
charcuterie.
events. Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Now, there's an art of charcuterie boards
Yeah,
here.
definitely.
And the reason I know this is because of Jazz and Wine Fest at the Alton Amphitheater, because Brown Bag Bistro has some of the best charcuterie boards out there. Now, have you been able to kind of explore and do some research into the different variation and types?
Not necessarily. I usually just make them for my family and myself. I've always grew up hosting Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Easter, so I just love being able to create those for my family before dinner.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And now, have you made the first one yet for the business?
No, I have not.
Stay tuned. That's coming. All right, Jada. Jada without a Y. How are we doing back there, Jada?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just an anxious person.
Oh, you should see me. I'm telling you what. So what's wild is this is a true story. I was the worst at speaking in public. Terrible. And I decided to get into pro wrestling because I lost my business because I, just did it myself and partnered it off. And it was time to find something new. So I went into pro wrestling, and then all of a sudden I realized that I'm really just an anxious person to begin with, so I just kind of became cool. I get it. And then now I'm babbling into a microphone. Have we figured out the business?
I plan to start my own baking business.
No kidding. Okay, now I gotta ask, because I'm kind of a little bit of a bacon nut here. Do we have a specialty, or are we talking breakfast desserts, dinner desserts? Because there is a difference here.
I mean, I would like to do like birthday party things. Like I'm gonna sell custom cupcakes, cakes, maybe cookie cakes, and I'm trying to work on like how I would do cake pops.
Yeah.
Cut out sugar cookies with the royal icing designs. I've been working on those for like 2 years.
Win. That's a win. That's a win. And has the class helped kind of get a little bit, work on maybe talking a little bit more and all that?
Being in the class in high school has inspired me more to want the business more.
That's awesome.
And to share with other people to get their opinions and stuff.
That's really cool. Well, the best of luck. And I'm telling you, I will be at the trade show, and I am a taste tester. I'm a pretty easy judge, so it's all good. And Jada, how are we doing over there as well?
I'm doing good. I'm going to do a candle business.
Really cool. So now here's my question. Are we going with more of the natural candles without, a lot of the, because I know that some are, vegan candles that don't have a lot of the animal fats in them. Is that, are you looking to do, or maybe something just has some
more
good?
Like essential oil based.
Oh,
and
cool.
everything.
I always have the worst luck with picking candle smells. Maybe it's just like a guy thing. I don't know. Every time I go to the store, I think I got the best smelling candle, and then I get home, light it, and then my house smells like something that it shouldn't smell like for a couple of weeks. So getting back to the trivia night, I think it's really cool that every year the CEO, and it kind of is, it's a little nerve-wracking for a group, because I wasn't a part of the group after 7 years of, kind of success in building. We were just testing the waters. But, in your guys' shoes, you guys have 7 years now of class businesses and individual businesses, so there's got to be some type of pride knowing, hey, we're continuing this reign, and it's our baby now to kind of do with it what we like. Is that kind of the feeling?
Yeah. It's pressure.
Yeah, good answer. Is it a good pressure, though, where you're kind of still achieving and feeling some goodness with
pressure
it?
to make us want to do better. So.
Yeah. What's it like working with Katie and getting, Katie's perspective on things? Because I think having somebody that's, younger, able to connect with the students a little bit more and really be on hands with some of the changes in technology helps, too.
Yeah, she's been doing this for like 8 years, and she knows the business owners.
She was my facilitator.
Yes, so it's just like a walk in a park with her.
And what's your biggest call to action for the public? As I told you, it flies by fast. We only have like 3 minutes left. What's your call to action for the public? Because these are fun nights, where you get to come out and support kids that are doing so much work and really doing a bunch of tough things, because you guys are still studying. You're doing athletics and sports on top of doing the CEO program. And what's your call to action for the people to get out and help support you guys in what you're doing?
Just get a table at the Riverbend CEO Facebook page.
Good answer. And are any of you guys athletes? I should ask that question. Jada, are you an athlete?
Yeah.
What do you play?
I do cheer, soccer, and track.
No, my dad's the boys soccer coach.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now, what position do you play in soccer?
I don't play anymore.
That's
quit,
okay.
But It was either forward or running back.
Really cool. Right. Well, I just think it's great, and I think it's cool that there's a variety of students from sports to different locations throughout the Riverbend coming together every day and doing some fun stuff. Sponsorships are still available. What's the best way to reach out to get those sponsorships to you?
Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook page.
Awesome. And is that the best way to stay up to date on everything?
Yes. Katie's posting every tour and every time, most meetings too.
What was the best experience that you guys have had? If you guys could pick one day throughout the last school year, whether it's a tour, whether it's a speaking engagement, what was the best day for you personally? And CEO, I'll ask all of you the question.
We recently went to Fru's Bridal Place. That was.
I heard that was really cool.
Really cool one.
Yeah, Darrell was talking about.
Yeah, really big place, and then he talked about his real estate that he does on the side, which is really interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
I like the city hall. It was like there's a lot of stuff that goes into running a city that you don't really think about.
That's very true. Very, very true. And anyway, who's next? Who would like to fill me in?
I like we went toward Phillips 66 Refinery.
I heard that was awesome.
That was probably one of my favorite ones this year.
Absolutely. Laura?
I'm still thinking. I mean, all three of the ones that have been mentioned were really good. But there's just so many places we've been to. It's hard to just specifically choose one.
Jada?
I forgot the name of it, but it was one of the gyms we went to where he had
Pride?
different.
Yeah.
I think it's Pride.
Yeah.
He had all different and unique workout equipment. I think it's nice that it's a place where I saw it as a place where you can kind of just do whatever and not worry about what else is happening around you.
The community's atmosphere in there. And then Jada?
I'd probably say abs workout.
She's great. She's been on the show a few times.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. Now, did you know they just expanded yet again?
Yeah.
Another Riverbend CEO alum that doing some great stuff. Hey, by the way, Jada and Laura, switch in here real quick. Scooch over. I got to do this real quick. If you see any of these students walking around, Jada, get on in here. We can make this work. Please support them because this is such a really cool thing with Trivia Night. Buy some tickets, go have fun. A table of 8's $100. We just did the math in the first segment. That's $12.50 per person. That's less than a McDonald's lunch. You're welcome, courtesy of Riverbend CEO. Is it just the trivia? Any baskets, anything?
There will be some.
Yeah, we're doing some games and stuff.
Well, there you go. On the 17th, you can have a good old time with Riverbend CEO. And I want to talk to you guys as we get closer to the trade show because those businesses are going to be set in stone, and we got to get the public out there to either check it out or buy some product.
Yeah.
Sounds like a win to me. We'll take a quick pause here. We will see you at the Riverbend CEO Trivia Night on February the 17th at...
The Best Western Community.
Who said it? Who picked it up? There we go. Pick it up on the live read at what time?
Doors open at 5:30.
At 5:30. And for more information, you go to the Riverbend CEO Facebook page. You get tickets. You reach out to get some information on sponsorships, and you're supporting the next generation of leaders right here in the 618. We'll take a quick pause. Daily show will continue right after this in the heart of the 6. Get over here. 18. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Timber! With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back. 9:58, little bit of change on this 24th day of January. Let's just get to news now. We got to talk to Congresswoman Budzinski. At 9:58, make sure you sign up for your daily email. It feels so weird to do news not at 10 o'clock. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update. You'll join myself and over 70,000 people that are in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. We will take you to Alton first. Illinois American Water's work to separate the Alton combined sewer system and install new sanitary sewers continues. January the 23rd, yesterday, Elm Street is closing to traffic near the intersection of Hardy Street, and this morning, January the 24th. They're asking that you avoid this area and utilize Mather to the south, East Delmar to the north for any east-west travel in this area. The work will progress easterly down Elm Street to the intersection of Kohler Street. These closures are necessary for investments to the wastewater system to be completed in a safe manner. Also, in the news, Out of Alton, Dalton Brown bringing us the latest of a proposal partnership to host a Formula One Powerboat Championship race in Alton that would be called the 2024 Alton Midwest Nationals. It's on the agenda for Alton City officials to consider this evening. If approved, the 2024 Alton Midwest Nationals would take place from Friday, June the 21st to Sunday, June the 23rd. The race would consist of a 7-turn loop near the Alton riverfront area of the amphitheater, where there would also be van viewing and pit seat areas for your viewing pleasure. At their next meeting, the Alton Committee of the Whole is set to consider this agreement with Southern Professional Outboard Racing. According to this resolution, verbatim, the City of Alton and Southern Professional Outboard Racing Tour desire to enter into an agreement to host a Southern Professional Outboard Racing Tour Series circuit. Now, following the cancellation of their typical Monday night meeting due to that inclement weather, the Committee of the Whole is set to discuss this and or vote on this matter and item at 6:30 p.m. this evening, January the 24th. You can watch it instantly on RiverBender.com at RiverBender.com/video, or by just going to our Facebook page and watching the City Council meeting there. Out of Granite City, the Illinois Department of Transportation did announce that repairs on eastbound Interstate 270 between Illinois 3 and Riverview Drive in Missouri will require lane closure starting, weather permitting, at 9 p.m. Friday, January the 26th. One lane will always remain open, and all lanes will reopen by 5 a.m. Monday, January the 29th. Now, motorists should expect some delays and are encouraged to use alternate routes during this closure. Drivers are urged to reduce speeds, be alert for changing conditions, obey all construction signage, and refrain from using your mobile device while approaching and traveling through the work zone. For IDOT District 8 updates, you can follow them on Twitter at IDOT-District8, or for construction map details, you can view GettingAroundIllinois.com. That's GettingAroundIllinois.com. Syndey Sinks bringing us the latest out of Wood River. The Alton Community Service League will celebrate Valentine's Day with a wine tasting fundraiser on the 10th of February. The proceeds will go to organizations in the community supported by the ACSL. From 3 to 5 p.m., attendees can enjoy alcoholic and non-alcoholic wines, a Valentine's Day gift basket raffle, a 50-50 drawing, and more at the Wood River Moose Lodge located at 730 Wesley Drive in Wood River. Olive Oil Marketplace will also be on hand offering samples, and attendees can try a variety of wines throughout the evening provided by Republic National Distribution Company of Illinois. Tickets do cost $20, and all of the money will go towards the ACSL's grant program, which benefits local organizations and non-for-profits. As an organization, ACSL completes many beautification projects throughout the Riverbend community. Members are also expected to volunteer with other local organizations on their own time. Tickets will not be available at the door, so they ask you to purchase tickets ahead of time. You can call the president of the Alton Community Service League at 618-971-9191. That's 618-971-9191. Or you can call Cora Miller at 618-444-7011. That's 618-444-7011. Alton Community Service League also is always looking for new members. You can call both of them for more information on how you can be a part of this wonderful organization. Dalton Brown bringing us a recap of our conversation with former Governor Pat McCrory, the national co-chair of No Labels, and the former governor of North Carolina. He recently announced the organization has called for the Department of Justice to investigate threats made against members of No Labels. No Labels recently held a press conference to announce the investigation, which McCrory explained in further detail right here on this show. Here's his quote. We had a press conference to announce that we are asking the U.S. Justice Department to investigate coordinated groups that are working, we think, allegedly in an illegal manner to stop No Labels and, frankly, other groups from having a chance to give voters an opportunity to have another choice on the ballot. A Republican himself, McCrory, said that while it's currently both sides of the aisle making these threats, he would not be surprised when right-wing groups did the same to No Labels later on down the line, adding the threat should never be part of the political process. McCrory added that No Labels is currently working to secure ballot access in all 50 states for what they call their unity ticket for 2024, a selection of a presidential and vice presidential candidate who will uphold No Labels standards of bipartisanship. He said they will also likely offer a split ticket of one Democrat and one Republican candidate, which they're aiming to have ready by Super Tuesday, which is March the 5th. For more information on No Labels, you can visit their website at nolabels.org, and to find out more information into this investigation, you can watch the interview with Governor McCrory on RiverBender.com/daily show. Also, let's take a look at weather. It's 39 degrees currently at 10:04. It feels like 41. That dense fog advisory is still in effect until 12 noon. Today, dense fog this morning, occasional rain and drizzle. Other than that, it's going to be cloudy. Tonight, occasional rain and drizzle. Temperatures will reach 49 degrees today, drop down to 37 overnight as we head into Thursday, where we can expect 43 for the high, a 90% chance of precipitation, and 34 degrees for the low. On Friday, no rain in the forecast, partly sunny skies, 44 for the high, 34 for the low. And then on Saturday, bring out the umbrella and maybe even the rowboat. 92% chance we're getting a downpour, 42 for the high, 32 for the low. As we creep into Sunday, the 28th at 40 degrees and 29 for the low, respectively, as we work our way back to the week. With that being said, it's 10:05 for time and temperature throughout the day. You give this phone number a ring. Landmark phone number. I mean, thank Riverbender for being able to find this phone number and bring it back, and it keeps growing and growing. A lot of people use it. 618-465-4545. This time powered by Tom Lane. He is your local State Farm agent. Hey, we got to take a quick break, but before we do that, there's somebody that never takes breaks, and that's Lisa Webb. Here's why. She's always working for you. You know, I love the fact that when Lisa came on this show, we kind of updated Third on Third. We were able to show the home she was listing on the screen, and so many people loved it. The house on Langdon, already under contract. I called it instantly, didn't I? And it's just more work being done by Lisa Webb. I mean, she's really starting to grow, and what she did is she grew with her community. She is such an advocate for all things Bunker Hill and that area in itself, whether or not it's for the Chamber of Commerce or the community service project she does. Listen, why am I saying this? Because she's about the community, and she's about your family's well-being in this community. Whether or not you need to buy, sell, or foreclose, Lisa Webb, her woman-owned but family-operated company, will be there with you every step of the way. ThirdSTRealty.com. That's ThirdSTRealty.com. And hang out with Lisa Webb and I on the third Wednesday of each month with Third on Third with Third Street Realty.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. fresh new name with the same great service you've come to expect.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ and Nasello on RiverBender.com.
And I'll turn right back around.
Welcome back to Our Daily Show on the starting to get warmer Wednesday morning. You know, I don't know how it was in Washington, D.C., Congresswoman Budzinski, but it was pretty cold here.
Yeah, yesterday, actually, we were on the road all day, and it was really icy. It was very dangerous. So I hope nobody got hurt and people stayed inside.
And with the weather and you traveling left and right and trying to go across the aisle and back to it to keep progressing, what is it? How are you able to navigate that? A lot of Zoom calls and phone calls during some winter weather?
Yeah, well, yes, it definitely. We were doing a lot of local press and local interviews at home in Springfield yesterday, and all but one had, kept their commitment to doing the interviews, which was really great. So we stayed on schedule, but definitely drove a lot slower. More cautious.
Well, and on top of that, I think it's important to do local media. Because we see, you guys and girls on the Big Four and every other news site, but to come back locally and talk to us and give us your thoughts on how the first term's going is really cool, and take me through that. You've been busy.
Yeah, thank you so much. And you're absolutely right. It is so important to take time to visit with your local press, your local media, just to talk about some of the great work we've been doing. And this is a time for me to reflect on my first year in office and also what we're looking ahead to doing in my second year. In our first year, I think we've made some really good progress on some projects that have benefited the communities throughout the 13th district. This is a really big district. We are seated at the most western end in Alton, but I go all the way almost to the Indiana border, to Urbana-Champaign. So it's a large territory to cover, but in my first year, we opened 4 offices. We've got a great team on the ground, and one of the things, we have an office obviously in Belleville, we have an office in Springfield, Decatur, and Champaign as well. But we've really prioritized in our first year doing mobile office hours. So doing mobile office hours at local libraries, for example, in Madison County, in Macoupin County, in Piatt County, where we might not have a brick and mortar office, because I think it is so important that we go to our constituents and hear them, not expect my constituents to come and visit with us about what their needs might be. So we prioritize that. I'm proud to tell you that we closed over 700 constituent cases in our first year.
Wow. That's a large number for anyone that doesn't follow that. That's a pretty substantial number of folks.
Yes, thank you. And I could not do that without a fantastic team, which I have on the ground. But to say, what are some of those constituent cases? A lot of those are constituents that come to us that might need assistance with back Social Security payments. Maybe they've been owed some money from the Social Security Administration and they've had a hard time collecting it. We'll help them cut through that bureaucracy to get some of those dollars back home. And then I'd also say it helps veterans. We have a lot of veterans that come needing assistance with navigating the VA.
Yes.
We can also assist them with that too.
Well, I thought it was so fascinating, Congresswoman, and I know that you're on the Veteran Affairs Committee. When I was first in radio, I had to do a Sunday show, and they said, no one else will do this, and the guy's a veteran, and he's, a little bit older, so work with him. And it was wonderful. It was all about the new changes at the VA and how there's so many more benefits to help veterans, and to hear that growth continue is a really good notion for so many of us that have military families in the southern portion of the state and throughout your district.
You're absolutely right. I mean, in Madison County alone, I think we have about 20,000 veterans in this county specifically. I wanted to serve on the House Veterans Affairs Committee because I knew it could do so much good for our communities throughout the district. It's also one of those bipartisan committees where we can really work across the aisle to get things done for our veterans, and we should be able to do that for the men and women. It's still, I can report, it still does occasionally happen, But we had actually, I just mentioned, we had our second town hall was actually in Collinsville. We had it at the VA. We welcomed veterans in, and we heard firsthand some of their stories and some of their challenges with the VA, and just opportunities for us to help advocate for them in Washington. I also set up a Veterans Advisory Council because I thought that it was so important to just hear directly, as you've said, meeting the veterans directly and hearing what their needs are is so important. And so we did that as well. And that led us to, doing a lot of the work that we have been doing on the Veterans Affairs Committee, working to advocate for access for our veterans to mental health,
yes.
Good mental health treatments, substance use treatment, if that's something that a veteran might need. Been doing work on workforce development. One of the bigger challenges that I've learned from our veterans is getting them as they leave active duty back into the community. How do they get a good paying job? Yeah. And so creating some opportunities. I have a bipartisan bill to help with scholarships to help veterans get into the STEM field, which is a growing field of interest and really growing and expanding throughout the country. So looking for those kind of bipartisan, common sense opportunities to help people like our veterans is some of the work I've been able to do in the first year.
And something I wanted to follow up on, kind of on top of that, is a lot of veterans that I've encountered on this show and interviewing. VFW, we used to do a segment with Alton's location, but a lot of veterans in this area, it seems like they live in more rural communities and portions of the state. How are you able to navigate going in and realizing that we're working in a municipality setting or a city setting compared to a rural community, and how do you balance those mazes in itself?
Well, we try to reach. I've worked really hard in this first year to really touch every corner of our district and hear directly from communities that are big, mid-sized, small. And one of the things I've found is you're absolutely right. Our rural communities do face unique challenges. I've really been trying to tackle that as it relates to healthcare in particular. And so one of the bipartisan pieces of legislation, it's actually bicameral, just meaning it was introduced in both the Senate and the House, is the Rural Health Core Act. The Rural Health Core Act, what it says is that for medical professionals, where we have shortages, and we have shortages with OBGYNs, with mental health professionals, especially the specialists, if you were to practice in our more rural communities for 5 years, will help relieve some of your student debt. And so that's just like a common sense, again, bipartisan approach to how we can really tackle some of the needs of our rural communities. And healthcare and access to good, affordable healthcare is honestly top among them.
And on top of that, just a brief follow-up on that notion, I know a lot of great facilities around here like OSF, BJC, that are starting to utilize these new programs that really help reach those rural settings. And have you had some communication with any of those leaders of how to make this more efficient for statewide and across the country if we can implement it?
Yes, I think one of the things that we can be doing to really expand access in our rural communities is we look at high-speed internet access. Really, telehealth during COVID, doors were opened in ways that to telehealth that prior to COVID really hadn't been. And so I think that's really given unique new opportunities for expanding healthcare access in more rural communities where people don't have the ability to so easily get to a medical center, or they don't have the ability to get to a specialist. If they have high-speed internet access, through telehealth, they can get access to that specialist. And I think that's really critically important.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, just going back really briefly, I looked at the letter your team sent, and I just think it's wonderful, this statistic. 26,000 calls. No one gets 26 calls, I don't think, a day. I know I don't.
It takes a team to address that number of calls.
Well, and with that, you have to stay focused on what your vision is for the 2 years, on top of still responding to everybody. So it does have to have a good team around you to make sure that we're reaching out and staying on top of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And also, Congresswoman Budzinski, the big reason I wanted to talk with you is you're standing with workers. And the last couple of months, we've seen all the news of the Granite City steel plant and now the acquisition of said steel plant, and how that you called for an investigation very boldly and said someone needs to look into this. Where are we at in terms of maybe that investigation too? I'll ask that question. And also, how important is it for you to stand up for those unionized workers throughout the state?
It's critically important. I'm a union member myself. I come out of the labor movement. Standing up for working families is, quite frankly, why I decided to run for office in the first place. So I see that as my job number one. Fighting for the workers in the community of Granite City is my top priority and really has been since I came into office. Prior to coming into office, though, there were already rumors and a proposal on the table where U.S. Steel might be scaling back and moving some of their operations down to Arkansas. Once I got into office, I immediately started the process of advocating to U.S. Steel that they should be making more investments, not less investments into Granite City, because our workforce in Granite City is some of the most highly skilled workforce in the country. They've been building and making steel for generations. And so why leave that highly skilled workforce? Why not not invest and continue to be in the community as such a critical part of the history and the future of Granite City. So I've been outlining a number of federal grant opportunities and shared that with U.S. Steel, challenging them to continue to make those investments. Then what happened was about October of last year, we saw a temporary announcement. Now, they said temporary. The word temporary is important,
Yes,
and
it
I'll
is.
explain that. A temporary set of layoffs for, I think it was about 400 workers. My concern around that is there is federal and state legislation called the WARN Act that requires that if any employer were to provide a layoff notice to a worker, they have to give that worker a certain amount of time in order for them to prepare for the potential for a layoff. The loophole, though, is if that employer says it's temporary. If it's a temporary layoff, they could give you a pink slip tomorrow. And that's what happened to some of the workers at Granite City Steel.
What defines temporary, not to put you on the spot? Is that a question that's being asked too?
Yeah, I think it is actually something that if a worker were to be laid off, I believe it's 6 months.
Okay.
If it's for something any longer than 6 months, I believe that they would have to be given more notice. But that temporary status, if they do need to be given more of a substantive notice, it would require 60 days. 60 days of preparation for that worker to be able to make adjustments. And what ended up happening was only about 2 months later, then U.S. Steel decided to do more permanent announcements of layoffs. So clearly that temporary layoff wasn't temporary.
Right.
It was going to be permanent. And so my belief was, and at that time U.S. Steel blamed the UAW strike as a reasoning for that decision, even though the UAW strike at that time had only been going on for 3 days. So I was skeptical. And we had been really voicing concern that they violated the WARN Act. What ended up happening, and Governor Pritzker was a part of this through the Department of Labor, is they launched an investigation. That led U.S. Steel to saying, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and pay back pay to that first set of about 400 workers that, quote unquote, were temporarily laid off. So that's never happened before. That's a real win for the working people in Granite City to get that kind of back pay. And so that was a win. But we're still facing a really significant challenge in Granite City. What is the future for that workforce?
Right.
And as you mentioned, there has been a recent announcement that Nippon Steel, which is a Japanese company, would like to purchase U.S. Steel. That sale has not gone through, and it is now still under review, but there's a belief that it could potentially go through in the third or the fourth quarter of this year. My concerns around this is, I was hoping for an American company to come in and purchase U.S. Steel. There were a number of American companies that were interested and actually believed in Granite City and believed in investing in Granite City. My concerns around Nippon Steel is more that I think they're going to be following a lot of the same business plan that U.S. Steel had. And so in that case, that could mean that eventually a lot of the workforce would end up moving down to Arkansas. And I'd hate to see that. So,
well, and Congresswoman, I don't know how you feel about this, but to me, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you got America's Central Port right there, and you have all these corridors. The freightway is right there. I mean, why wouldn't you want to have that type of transportation avenue and distribution right there in your neck of the 2 minutes away?
Absolutely, you're right. There is a number of different advantages to the location of Granite City. But as I also mentioned, right now through the federal government, there are a number of grants that provide federal financial assistance to companies like U.S. Steel. If they wanted to take advantage of the money and the resources, I'd be happy to help them do that so that they can continue to invest in the plant.
Absolutely. And also on top of that, too, as we keep navigating this, because I know that your time's limited, and just to have you is really, we appreciate it.
Oh, sure,
very much.
anytime.
Whenever we were talking, I was talking with Dan about how I wanted to go about this, and my biggest focus has been this last 4 months, Congresswoman, has been with No Labels, and we have Joe Cunningham on and Pat McCrory and all these guys and women, is what about redistricting and gerrymandering?
Yeah.
Because, it seems like someone that works left and right, no matter who you are, let's work to progress like you've done on both sides of the aisle your first year. You always get the primary challenger and quote unquote, whether no matter where you are, that you have to, win that primary is the thought to do okay in the general.
Right.
But it all starts with redistricting and gerrymandering. Is there anything on your mind on how we can combat this?
I think we need a federal solution to this.
Yeah.
I think we need to pass national legislation that makes it equal across the board, across all states, as to how we fairly redraw districts. I think that is the best approach. The reason that I say that is that I think that a state-by-state approach, which right now is what we have, every state takes a different approach. So Illinois' process is very different than California's process, is very different than Iowa's process. And depending on, those in power, that's kind of how it gets determined.
Right.
And so I do think that having more competitive districts, which this district that I represent is, it's only slightly more Democratic. It has about a 3-point advantage to a Democrat. That still, though, is a pretty swingy district. And so if there were more swing districts, I think, in this country, it would kind of force, I think, our elected officials to try to meet more in the middle, which is really what I've been trying to do in Washington.
100%. And on top of that, before I let you go, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about Cahokia Heights.
Yeah.
This is a new subject that I think has gotten little attention and needs to be talked about a lot. I mean, in St. Louis, we always talked about the Creve Coeur landfills and all of that. But, I mean, here in Cahokia, this is, to me, in my opinion, more of a crisis than the former. I mean, we have a drinking water crisis in Cahokia Heights. Can you fill me in on what you were able to find out and what you called for?
Yeah, and thank you so much for asking. And like Granite City, what's happening in the work I've been doing in Cahokia Heights has really been my top priority in this first year. What is happening in Cahokia Heights, which is a water infrastructure, quite frankly, a sewage issue, flooding issue, has been happening for decades and been happening for too long. And so I've really tried to make it a point to invest and figure out ways to continue to invest and come up with a strategic plan to really tackle this, bringing together hopefully local, state, and federal resources to finally get this issue resolved. One of the things that I did in my first year is I had someone from the EPA, an officer from the EPA, come and visit with me the constituents of Cahokia Heights to just hear firsthand some of the stories that I've heard from constituents. One of the stories I'd share with you was of a woman who was in her 70s. Again, there's an issue with raw sewage coming out of government pipes into people's homes. This woman had this happen in her basement. Her husband had to assist her in getting this raw sewage, if you can imagine that.
I've worked in sewer. I know exactly what you're talking about. My family owns Rigdon Sewer Service, and I'm telling you what, those basements, to get that out of there is a nightmare.
Okay, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. And her husband had just had a surgery, still needed to go and help. He got exposed to that sewage and ended up he lost his leg as a part of that. I mean, that is just outrageous, and I think something that government has failed this community for too long. And so by showing this EPA officer kind of what was happening on the ground, since then, we've found a number of different ways, I think, to start the process of helping. We had a designee designated from the EPA to come and be an EPA coordinator, full-time dedicated to the community of Cahokia Heights. Beth has been on the ground since early November, and she's really been helping us to look through what are the local, state, and federal resources. There are a lot of them out there. There are a lot of great officials at all levels that have been trying to provide financial investment and support to getting this issue resolved. But how do we coordinate all of those efforts, and how do we look for additional resources? So one of the things I just recently advocated for in the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee is asking for additional stormwater management funding. Right now, the Army Corps of Engineers is requesting $200 million. We have $100 million. So I asked for the additional $100 to help communities like Cahokia Heights that are challenged by stormwater issues. That's a part of the problem in Cahokia Heights. The other I've been working with Senators Dick Durbin and Senator Duckworth on is asking the CDC to take a look at a public health analysis of what the impact has been of this many, many years of exposure to wastewater and to flooding issues. And so we've been actively working to advocate to have that analysis done for the community as another helpful tool in finally getting these issues resolved. But I've been leading on a number of different ways, tackling and providing more investments to identify air pollutants in the community. We just recently made an announcement that we were able to identify between 40 and 50 electric school buses for Cahokia Heights and some of the neighboring community school districts as a way to kind of lower the carbon footprint in an area that has really become an area of environmental justice. So that's just a number of ways. And so I'm really hoping that with all of that collective effort and working with people on the ground locally that have been really leading on these issues for some time, we're going to finally get this resolved.
Thank you very much for that, because I know that so many people are thinking the same thing, especially whenever I saw it. I went, why is this not on national news? I mean, this is a crisis that needs to be taken care of and tackled. And Congresswoman, before I let you go, I've kept you for far too long.
No, it's okay.
I really appreciate your time always. And anytime you're back in town, please stop by.
I will.
2 questions for you. And I'll ask you the easy one. Well, I guess they're both easier.
Yeah.
Whenever I look at the Big Four, and we all watch the national news, no matter what you watch, there's always, some angry individual trying to get a point across. And whenever I see you in Congress and I watch, the C-SPANs of the world and see how they operate, you're very reserved, but you're very well-informed. In a world where there's a lot of hectic stuff going on, what do you tell yourself to kind of keep in that mindset and that calm, but reserved and ready to go with information when called upon?
Oh, that's very nice of you to say. I mean, I think this is a people business.
Yeah.
And I think that in order to get things done, you've got to find common ground and you've got to work together. And while I can acknowledge that some of the colleagues that I lead, co-lead on legislative issues that I think support our communities, we might not agree on all issues, right? And that's okay. It's okay to not agree on everything. And likely, even with those that are closest to us in our lives, we don't agree with those people 100% of the time, right? So when you're trying to work with other people, I think it's about trying to find the areas of common ground, common interest, and how we can move those balls forward. And recognizing that there are going to be other areas where we disagree. And I think just taking that approach, I'm also someone I often say I'm not looking for a Twitter war. I have no interest. But there are some people that they look at the job in a different way, and they might be more attracted to, getting their voice out, or, that's a different style than I have. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and as we're gearing up for, round 2 for a second term for Congresswoman Budzinski, what's your message to your constituents across the district as, we're gearing up for this, and how are we going to help in the next 2 years?
Well, we've made good progress and we've got a lot more work to do. So I would synopsize it in that way. And I'm looking forward to that work. It's been an honor of my lifetime to get to go to Congress and advocate for the working families of Central and Southwestern Illinois. And I hope I can continue to do that after November and into a second term, and continue to work on some of the issues that, maybe we're not able to get to in this second year and we need to really tackle in a second term. And so I look forward to continuing that work.
Well, anytime you're back in the area, you're more than welcome on this show. And I mean that. I always value your input. And for all of us, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. We will take a quick pause here in the 618 on this Wednesday morning. Coming up in just a few, we're going to be talking to Syndey Sinks. She's our new writer here and does something unique where she does a Riverbender blog where she goes around town, does community events, and writes about them from a first-person perspective.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really unique. And it's a way for us to let the hair down. My hairspray's falling out, Congresswoman. I'm looking like a disheveled mess. But I'll be put together because this taping's over, and we're back to a live show right after this on RiverBender.com. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Lennox products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Still trying to make a name, knowing nothing's gonna change what I am.
Welcome back, 10:37. Wednesday morning continues on RiverBender.com. Busy show today, and we still got to talk to Sydney. We're going to get there. In studio, we are talking all things Zion Lutheran and their 74th annual sausage supper. That's pretty incredible to have a long-standing event going that long. And this is coming down the pipeline in just a few short days. Mm-hmm. So fill me in on this. On Sunday, which is my birthday, from noon to 6 p.m., you can stop by Zion Lutheran Church and the school in Bethalto. And there's a drive-thru option. There's some options to buy some fresh sausage in a bag. This is really cool. Where do we start?
Well, the sausage supper is at 625 Church Street in Bethalto, and it's from noon to 6 o'clock. And if you guys come out, go on Moreland Road and just follow the signs. We'll have people out there direct traffic, and then you'll weave around and you'll pay, and then you'll get your meals and your desserts.
Awesome. So fill me in on what's coming in the plate whenever I stop by that drive-thru.
The dinners are $12, and you get sausage, sauerkraut, mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans, applesauce, and a choice of pie, a slice of pie. We have cherry, apple, pecan, and pumpkin.
You're eating pretty darn good for $12.
Exactly. Yes, it is.
So this is what I think's great. I mean, for 74 years, the men's club has stepped up and really been a part of this and spearheaded it. And how long have you been a part of it, sir?
Dick Combs and myself, we took it over about 10 years ago, and from the other gentlemen that were just getting up in age.
Right.
And so we've took it over, and it's just been going ever since.
What's the prep work that goes into that? Because just to order all of this meat's got to be a little bit of a hassle in itself. I bet it is.
It is. Back in its day, we had a lot of farmers in our church, and so the hogs were donated, and so they would shoot them themselves, and then they would prep everything. They would process the meats.
Wow.
They would do everything. The women would, women and men, they would peel potatoes and mash them, green beans. The gravy was, homemade. So yeah, it was a lot of people involved.
Wow, that's actually really cool. I wish I could have seen that process, especially to have the farmers bringing in their own cattle and you're eating really good meat.
Exactly, yeah. And so back in the early 80s, the FDA came in and said, if you guys want to keep doing this, you're going to have to pretty much tear down the old church basement and build a new building. So we've had Troy Frozen Foods. They've took our recipes and they made our orders for the sausage for us since.
How long of a process was it to find somebody to distribute that? Because that's kind of a tall order in itself to make sure you're getting the meats that you guys, have this idea for.
Right. Troy Frozen Foods is a family-owned business, and I don't know how they pick them, especially in Troy, from Bethel to Troy, that's a good distance. But they've been wonderful to work with, wonderful people.
Really cool.
So yeah, it's since then they've been great to work with. We get our canned goods and also some paper products from them also.
And we were talking about that before we came on as our tape was running out. And there's a canned good aspect to this, and now people can buy 3-pound bags of sausage, correct?
Fresh sausage, yes.
So take me through the different options. So can we get canned goods, or do we donate the canned? How does that work?
The canned goods is just gallon cans of like applesauce or the green beans. We got stuff like that, and we have our instant potatoes, which we put milk and butter in, and people just love that. They think it's just actual mashed potatoes. And so
we have over 100 volunteers that come up and help us make this happen. So they're prepping food and packaging, cooking the sausage.
Well, that's just what that's another component of this that I wanted to talk about too. I just think it's great that there's so many varieties. So when you go through the drive-through, can you get the sausage in the bag there, or do we need to go into a different route?
No. The fried sausage will be up there when you pay for it.
Okay.
So we'll have the 3-pound bags of fresh sausage, and that's $15 for fried sausage.
Wow.
For the fresh sausage is $13.50, but usually that is people that reserved.
Okay.
We seem to get a lot of people reserve the fresh sausage before the sausage is over.
And if people are interested in getting raw sausage, they can call the church office or go to our website. It's zionbethalto.org, and they can place their order online.
Really cool. And how does this go hand in hand with the goals of the church and the school as a whole, trying to keep going towards tomorrow, and that gets more and more challenging, I'm assuming, each and every day. What do these funds generate? What do they go towards?
Some goes into the community.
Okay.
And then just certain things within the church, or people that need help with certain things. Like the school needed a water scrubber or ice machine, or we helped with redoing the kitchen.
Really cool.
Stuff that, like the Boy Scouts, they help us direct traffic. We give money toward them. The youth help us. They helps us out every year. We give $1,000 to the youth, and that really helps out also.
Wow.
We have Braille. People from other churches come into our church and they do Braille, and they make these Bibles and they ship them all over the country.
Yeah.
So we donate money toward them so they can buy the special kind of paper, and just Ladies Aid and whoever needs the money.
they're a huge supporter of our community, especially at Zion.
Yeah.
So it's not one thing that they're fundraising for. They're fundraising for our community to support all of our initiatives.
Well, that's what I think's really cool about this. I mean, this is really, in my opinion, what the church is all about. Is supposed to be, able to extend the arm and help as many as we can in the community. And it seems like you guys pretty much have this pretty much well oiled at 74 years into this.
Oh yeah, and we have our community chairpersons, and they're in charge of their certain groups, and then they contact their workers. But they're really wonderful on how to get everything going.
For the school aspect of this, do the kids get excited about these type of recurring events? Because when I went to St. Mary's, the big staple Oktoberfest was the big thing that everyone got ready for. Is that kind of the same in some of these events that are long running?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, the families look forward to this. It's people come back that have left the community. They'll come for the weekend. And this week is our National Lutheran Schools Week. So it's kind of tied into all the excitement of that. There's lots of exciting things happening on campus this week.
Well, and you guys keep growing, too. And I think that's a really great thing to point out in a world where it seems like, parishes are starting to shrink or, and we all seen those struggles. It seems like Zion Lutheran's really trying everything you guys can to make sure that doesn't happen and exceeding at it.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. It's just, it's a wonderful way for just to get our new members together with the older ones. It's a great fellowship opportunity for everybody.
And on top of that, too, I'm sure you have stories from the 27 years or 25 years you've been a part of. How long has it been? We talked before about this during the commercial break.
I've been doing it since I was a kid.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I got 25 years. I must be going crazy.
I mean, it's just doing things like helping with frying sausage.
Yeah.
Parking. Yeah. Doing the general store. We had a general store in the basement when we had people go in for the dining room. So we had like applesauce. Mm-hmm. Women used to make applesauce a long time ago.
That is so cool.
And all the fresh meats we had, different kinds of meats. We had spare ribs and T-bone, or pork chops, and just all kinds of bulk sausage, link sausage.
I can only imagine the memories that it creates, getting all that food prepared, because that's no easy task.
No, it isn't.
That takes a streamlined operation to really get this done.
Yes, it does.
It's a real fun day, and we have a wide range of age groups that come and help out. So, in pies, you might see a grandma helping their second grader or something. And so it's a full church community thing that really accomplishes this. And so it's only drive-through, but there's so much going on in the background that people can't see just when they come through, but it really is a fun day.
I like the drive-through aspect, though, because I'm an eat-and-go type of person, and it seems like a lot of people are always constantly moving anymore, so make it more efficient for them, too. I think it's a great move.
Exactly, yeah.
And with that being said, when we go to the drive-through, what time do you suggest? Because you're the expert veterans on the sausage supper here. What time to plan easily here for a nice smooth transition?
Well, we say from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, but a lot of people start showing up and just sit in line around 10:30.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
And so we try and get everybody through as fast as we can, and it really does really well with the drive-through because of just getting the money and then getting to the meal and then to the pies, which the pies are donated by everybody, which is a big help.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Hundreds and hundreds of pies.
Yes.
How does it make you guys feel, though? Because it seems like with events like this that are long running, eventually the enthusiasm and all that peters out, and that's just kind of it. But it seems like with this, it ain't going away anytime soon. That's got to make you guys feel really good that people rally behind this.
It does, yeah. And we have so many people within the community that just can't wait for the sausage suppers, to come around. And it's funny, over the years, we've had to move our dates around because the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
People don't want to work during the Super Bowl, which I don't blame them. No. And then, just certain things, other churches, a lot of other Zion Lutheran churches, or I should say Lutheran churches, they have their sausage suppers also. There's one in Warden, Staunton, Hamel.
Darn.
Edwardsville.
Is there anything that symbolizes? Is there a meaning for that, or is that just something that kind of got adapted and more churches?
It's heritage, probably.
Okay. Heritage,
Really
all
cool.
The Germans that came over and they just love the sausage. So
Really cool.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up for Zion. And we're going to be talking about it, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks. But we have about 3 minutes. Let's go through some of the things coming down the pipeline.
Sure.
I saw the ZLS auctions coming up.
Yes, in April.
Let's hit on that really quick, and we'll flip back to Sausage Supper.
April 6th is our 30th annual dinner auction. It supports our school, and it has a Roaring 20s theme this year.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it'll actually be here in Alton at your event space.
Great location. They'll be on Friday.
Great location, yeah. And you can go to zlsbethalto.org to get your tickets.
That's really cool. And this is the big shaboozy for you guys this year,
Yeah,
correct?
this is hosted by our PTL.
Yeah.
And so it's a great night out. It supports the school, gets us additional funds to do really fun things, and build community within our school.
Do you ever a quick question, I'm just kind of brainstorming here, light bulb moment, fast passes for the drive-thru at Sausage Supper?
We haven't, but that's a great idea.
I'm telling you, $10 and you can go right to the front. I'm thinking we figured something out here today.
That's a great idea.
That is a good idea. Because you can't buy tickets before that. So a lot of people thought, well, maybe I could just skip the line. But we talked about that.
There's quite a process that they've got down to a science. So.
I'm sure. And then open house for preschool coming down the pipeline?
Yes, February 20th is our open house for preschool. It's at 6 p.m. It's Dr. Seuss theme. It's a great time. So if you have a 3 or 4-year-old, you should come check it out. Additional information, again, on zlsbethalto.org. And then our registration dates are coming up already. Oh. Yeah, we start enrolling. Current families is February 1st, but we open it to the public March 1st. So and they can come for private tours. Just give the office a call. We're happy to talk them through it.
We'll have to get you back on whenever we get closer to all of this. Thank you all so much for stopping by and filling us in on this. I had a lot of fun talking about this, and I will hopefully. I got a performance at 2:30, but I think if I can sneak in by noon, I'll be able to grab some sausage at the Sausage Supper. You can stop by. What's the address again?
625 Church Street.
Veteran right there. Veteran right there. I love it. 10:51, we'll take a quick pause, and I'll see you on the 28th at Zion Lutheran Church and School in Bethalto.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Last dance with Mary Jane. One more time to kill the pain.
10:53. I am out of business. I like when I have to sit here and ramble, you know? I guess, I like it when I don't have to groan on, you know, and just kind of talk about buffoons. The All-Star Award will come back tomorrow. I had to talk blog talk with Syndey because yoga
Yoga. I tried so hard.
You are a great trier.
Thank you so much. That's actually a big compliment for me. I do try things, and I try to just give everything a fair shot. And I watched a TED Talk once, and it was the Shonda Rhimes Year of Yes TED Talk. And so now, as a person, I've embraced this idea of just saying yes to things, and that's gotten me in some great situations and some dumb situations.
Here. I actually, it's a great point to that. I said the same thing. I didn't watch the TED Talk, but I said, let's go by this kind of positive thing.
Absolutely.
Let's see what happens, and then I realized that there's a good chance I could have wound up in jail if I kept saying yes to everything. Maybe my friends in circle. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You gotta be discerning with your yeses after a while. You gotta think about it.
So this yes took you to what yoga studio, can we say?
So this took me to Radiance Yoga Studio and Wellness. And yeah, it was great. This is the one that's new up the street.
Okay,
so, yeah,
cool.
This was very cool. No, it was very great. There was a cup of tea, and it was just a great experience. And we had a lot of fun, but no, this was definitely a workout. I was unprepared to work out. I thought we were.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I think that every time I think of yoga, I think of relaxation.
Exactly.
You're going to stretch a little bit. Have you realized that, because I did this my first and ever only yoga experience, I realized I'm not very flexible.
Oh, not at all. No, I really had high hopes, because I do yoga sometimes, and I do it, I guess I do it more the relaxing way. I'm there to just breathe and take it easy, and then I roll up to this, and it's intense. It's intense yoga. So
was it intimidating that the people there were, because to me, when I go somewhere new, it's like I'm always in the class with the people that are the pro.
Absolutely,
the residential.
I don't know how I always find the people who know how to do it all. They're she says crow pose, and they're on it, and I'm like, what in the world are we talking about? So, yeah,
is that what it is?
No, it's intense. You turn upside down. I don't know. You're up in the air, and your palms are the only point of contact on the mat. And I was like, I saw her do it, and I was like, why even bother trying?
So I think the point of your blog too that I thought was awesome. Sorry, I'm catching up on my script.
Absolutely.
Here. Coming January 26th. I saw that you were getting a little frustrated, you said, in the situation, but realized there's a point where the embarrassment becomes laughter, and you got to laugh at yourself a little bit. I think that's a huge learning thing, because to me, I used to get so pissed off all the time. I mean, I really would, because I'm not good at this. This is a nightmare, and I just get mad, But you're right. You got to be able to go, well, okay, this isn't for me. Get me out of here in 20 minutes,
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, it's not that deep. Most things aren't that deep.
Right.
And so, just go in and you're having fun. You're with your friends. It was a fun day. And so that was a good reminder just to take things, a little less seriously and enjoy yourself.
Well, and the memory that creates. Because in 5 years, your friends are going to go, hey, Syndey, remember the crow pose, And
I'll say, oh, God, don't remind me.
So how did this is your first yoga class you've been to?
This was my second ever.
Second ever. So you've been to one before.
I have been to one before.
How did this experience differ?
So I think the one before was just a little bit more, it was a beginner's yoga class.
Okay,
so
that's a good clarification.
So that was just a very chill, and then this was a more general yoga flow class, and so I didn't know what to expect. So we go in, and it's pretty much right away, it's not so beginner.
Did your eyes why? What am I doing?
Yeah, pretty much.
We ain't in Kansas no more.
So no, that definitely was a little bit of a learning curve, but that was the fun part too, was learning how to do different things and kind of pushing yourself a little bit. That's part of the fun, is just trying and failing and learning from there. So
now, did anyone in the room know you were writing the blog about this at the time?
No, I didn't know I was writing the blog about it.
That's why I like it. It's a very natural blog.
It's whatever comes up. So no, I was just there, just having fun and in the moment. And I think that works, because you're just in the moment, you're enjoying it, you're learning something new, and then you come out and you're like, okay, now I can reflect on this a little bit, and that's kind of fun.
Well, all I know is that people thought you were lying last week when you said you didn't know what you're writing on.
Yeah, that's wild.
I got a call. I was talking to somebody. They go, seriously, what's she writing about? Because I guess we did such an interesting job on the show, and then your article, the blog was fantastic on the tattoo, very well written.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And I said, I promise you, she doesn't know. It's kind of like she does, but she doesn't. It sees what happens.
But I appreciate that people think I'm more pulled together than that. I really think that's nice. But no, I promise, I do not know. It's a surprise to me as well. And then we just see what happens. So.
Was there one pose that you could strike?
One pose that I could try.
During the class, like you could strike in the class that you would nail?
You know, there's this one, I think it's called the child's pose, and you just go down and you're just like face down on the mat, and I can do that. I can lie on the mat. And then
you should
I can
see
lie
me
there.
at 2 a.m. I'm pretty good.
Exactly.
So would you, if it was an intermediate class, like let's say it was a beginner, but it wasn't, pro yoga extraordinaire, would you do an intermediate class?
Absolutely, I would do. That's what I'm saying. The year of yes. Absolutely. Oh my God. Absolutely yes. I would try it.
Do you recommend the year of yes for the general public watching?
I do recommend it. Just be discerning and go in with a happy attitude and be prepared to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
That's the real lesson.
And have you learned a lot about some things that you're good, not good at, and just experience? Have you been able to grow that way?
Oh, for sure. It's just been really interesting to just kind of come out and realize like, oh, maybe I am spontaneous, or maybe I do have it in me to be, just to try new things and do something different, because I think it's so easy to get locked into this position of like, this is who I am, this is what I do, and that's all that I do. But it's been really nice, right? It's been really nice to just get out and try different things and discover different things that I enjoy too.
Well, and it's fun to kind of follow along because you really are living by what you're writing about. Absolutely. And saying, yeah, let's go do this, let's try this, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
Now, with that being said, were they kicking butt in yoga, or were they all...
They were killing it.
Oh,
I don't
God,
know.
that's even worse, because then you feel kind of left out afterwards, like they're all talking about how fun it was, and you're like,
I was like, this was so hard, and they're like, no, it was awesome. It was awesome, but let's acknowledge it was hard too, right? Please, guys, please.
So before we go, I gotta ask you, what's the blog about? We know the answer, but I gotta ask.
Okay, actually, this time I might have a slight answer. So, spontaneously, year of yes, I'm going to Arkansas this weekend just because I've never been before, so we're checking it out.
Playing some sound effects. Yeah. We know what we're writing about.
this time only, so don't get excited.
You going to Hot Springs?
Yeah, I am, exactly.
When are you doing that?
Friday afternoon, heading out and coming back Sunday, and it's just going to be a quick little trip and see what happens.
Friendscation?
Exactly, yeah.
There you go.
See what
Have
happens.
some fun with it. How long a drive?
It's about 6 hours, so it could be worse, but, we'll see how it goes.
I can't drive in a car for 6 minutes. I think that's why I live up the road and bought that house, because I hate driving.
And I respect that. I hate it too, but here we are. We're in it anyway.
We're in the year of yes. That's all we know. Syndey, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank all of you for hanging out with me for the last 2 hours. I'll see you tomorrow live at 9 for more of our daily show with Lee Cox and C Rations Grubhub, Slurp Daiquiri, and we'll find out what other trouble I can cause. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.